Hey, good late morning there, Clear Lake peeps. Ross Ingham with Clear Lake Guide Service with your Clear Lake report for September 8th, 2022. For those of you who are used to getting up early and seeing this posted really early on Thursday morning, it's going to be a little bit later posting. It'll still be here on Thursday in just another couple hours. I hadn't been out since the last report that I did, and my commitment to all of you is I'm not going to put in a report if I haven't been out here. I may not cover the entire lake, but at least I'll get around and kind of get a general feel of things. So that's the nature of today's report. So water level for the lake is sitting at, let's just call it -2. It was like minus 1.98, 1.97. By the time most of you see this during the course of the week, it'll be at -2. While I'm thinking of it, the very end of this video today, I'm going to patch in some video I took of the Redbud ramp on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday this week. So, okay, water level. The thing that I was most interested in wanting to get out and look around today, as hot as it's been, and it's just like most of you, it's just been hotter than snot here. I expected to see algae blooms blown up everywhere. You know, I expected to see half the upper end of the lake covered in it, and it's just not the case. It's not what I have seen this morning. I didn't see really any algae blooms. I'm not saying that there aren't some somewhere. I'm sure that in some packed in back area coves, you know, in the very back ends of them, there probably is an algae bloom down there. But you know, what I saw in the upper end of the lake just running around today, and I got down as far as just below the Narrows. The water actually looks pretty good for Clear Lake in September. And it looks really good for Clear Lake in September when you consider, you know, 105 to 110 degree temperatures almost all this week. So that part's kind of good. Weeds are starting to fizzle out, and they're kind of disappearing here and there. Water temperature is all over the board. The interesting thing was when I started at 5th Street this morning, it was 76 degrees. And as I started running down the lake, the first, you know, I stopped down at Rocky Point, down at that area, and looked around. The water had changed colors to the better, but I still didn't get bit. But at the same time that basically it was 76 degrees in Lakeport, it was 80 degrees down in mid-lake. So there's some pretty big shifts in water temperature as you get around the lake. I did see one dead fish that was, we'll just call it a 7-pounder, floating off of Rocky Point. It actually looked like it was in pretty good shape for being dead. I mean, I couldn't see any obvious trauma to it, and it didn't look like it'd been dead for very long, but it was really a shame. It's one of the fish that we don't need to have dying. So there's your water temperature, water level, clarity. Clarity is maybe a foot. That's about the best that I could see in the little bit of running around that I did this morning. Launch ramps, there's only 2 that are truly functional right now, 5th Street and Clear Lake Oaks ramp. And as I've told you in previous videos, the Clear Lake Oaks thing, that's kind of launch at your own risk. It's a 2-person operation, and most people are launching off what they call the beach, which is just the rocks to the, I guess it would be the west of the launch ramp. One thing I did find out since the last video was they did close Redbud. So Redbud is closed, but it's closed in a really, really weird way. So, and I'll let the video speak for that towards the end of this. If you stick around, you'll be able to see that. So those are the only 2 functional launch ramps that I'm aware of right now, and it'll continue to be that way until we get some rain, or until it gets really bad and one of them gets closed, another one gets closed. going out of Lakeport again, I had 2.5 feet of water under my boat for quite a ways. So the lake's going down at a rate of about 0.15 foot per week. So, 6 weeks, it's going to be down a foot. We'll see what happens at that point. 6 weeks will carry us into maybe the middle of October. So we're going to hope for the best. Upcoming activities, I'm going to kind of hurry because these airboats are starting to get fired up and they're going to make a nuisance of themselves. Originally, this is going off of permits, and it's also going off of what I can find as far as on websites. So this weekend was supposed to be Bob's Marine on the 10th and 11th. That's not going to happen. As far as I know, the 17th and 18th are open, and the 24th and 25th, the last weekend of September, there's a Wild West Kayak Championship. So it's going to be like a 2-day event. Hang on, let these guys go by. And I think time out. Okay, pardon the interruption. Hopefully they're far enough away to where you can't hear them. 3 airboats, of course. There's 5 boats on the lake. 3 of them are airboats. Okay, going back to the activities, upcoming tournaments. We're starting in October, and these are permits that are pulled, so I don't know whether they're going to happen or not, but this first one, Bass Federation tournament on the 1st and 2nd of October, I think that one's probably a go as long as they can launch. The following weekend, the 8th and 9th, is a Bass Anglers of Northern California. I think it's just rounded off and called Bank. They've got a permit for the 8th and 9th of October. Wild West has a permit pulled for the 15th and 16th of October, but it's not on their website, so I think they've either postponed or canceled that one. And then New Gen has a permit pulled for 22nd and 23rd of October, and I checked that one still shows on their website, so that one appears to still be live. So bad news is the fishing here on Clear Lake is kind of more than it's tough for almost everybody. The good news is there's not going to be 150 boats on the water every week for the next 8 weeks. So we'll see how that turns out. So those are all the activities that are coming up for the remainder of this month and October, as far as I know. And please pipe in if anybody knows any information that I missed or maybe got wrong. Please put it in a comment down below and I'll correct myself with the next one. So I want the information going out to you folks to be as accurate as possible. Along those same lines, anybody who has caught 10 bass on this lake in one day in the last 2 weeks, drop a comment down there, and I don't even care what size they are, and just say, hey, I'm one of them. I caught 10 on such and such a day. You don't have to give yourself up. You don't have to tell anybody where. You don't have to tell them how. You don't have to tell them how big. Let's just say it's my own little personal survey of what's going on with the lake. So if you would do that, I'd appreciate it. I always get a kick out of the comments that you all put down anyway. So, all right, I'm going to cut this off. This will be it for today, except for hang on, and you'll see a little video of Redbud. Have a good day. Yeah. This is Redbud. And the sign says it all. Docks are closed. Don't know when this happened. This is going to be a short little part of the video, I'll tell you that, because I got flies crawling all over me. It's a wonderful smell. So, in true Clear Lake fashion, you've got a bunch of little barricades and little caution tapes, and they've all been broken. So I'm sure people are figuring out some way to launch something down here, but for most people, we would consider this place closed off. So there you go.